Hello everyone, this is Calvin Russell, CEO and founder of 850 Club Credit Consultation. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today we're going to talk about the absolute worst place you can have your auto loan with, okay? I know we kind of talked about various banks, but lately I've been seeing that this is the only bank, if maybe not another one, so I may or may not do a video on them, but this bank in particular, if you're late with them, everything goes completely different, and it's a part of their contract as well too, but a lot of people don't know how to read the fine print. So who is that bank? Well, Santander. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Santander. Santander in America, they focus mainly on subprime loans, and they only do auto loans here in America. Okay, now they're actually a very large bank in Europe. Okay, and in Europe they would essentially be I would say maybe like a Chase or similar to a Chase bank here in the States, okay? The reason why I say that is because a lot of Europeans, they may have their mortgage with Santander, they do refinancing with Santander, and Santander, they do have low interest rate loans and auto loans as well too, but preferably they do offer low interest rate auto loans here in the States, but that's not what they spend majority of their time on. They use that as a hook to get certain people that may really qualify for 5% somewhere else, but they've never really had good credit. So what they do is, well, first off, let's talk about the main reason why I feel that they're the worst auto loan lender. The reason being is because if you're, of course, sometimes people are late on their loans, right? And I get it, you shouldn't be. But here's the deal. When you're late with a traditional auto loan, the normal thing happens. You get a late fee, the extra interest is added to your account, but just a small amount, but you can easily get caught back up. With Santander, if you're late, it's almost like things kind of go back, not necessarily back to the beginning, but it's almost like the next payment doesn't count, or like the next payment goes majority towards interest. And with a lot of their loans, majority of the interest is packed at the, is taken majority of the monthly payment at the beginning, okay? After that, then it starts to go more into the actual principal. For those who don't know the difference, let's say, for example, your monthly payment is $400, right? Now, for borrowing the money, they're going to have, let's say, $210 go towards the principal, and the remaining balance is going to go towards the interest. Okay, so what's the math on that? What's that? 190. So now you're talking if your monthly payment is $400. Okay, and then over time, more payment goes towards the principal, and then of course less payment goes towards the interest. But if you're late, it's almost like it kind of resets itself. It kind of restarts itself. Every person that I've ever seen be late with Santander, and I'm talking after a year, like they've been late maybe a couple times, maybe once or whatever, after a year being with them, what's amazing is that you've paid all those monthly payments, but then if you look at the loan balances, it's almost like they just started the loan balance. So all of that money went to what? Interest only. Okay, so the thing about it is that I've never seen any other bank do that and get away with it legally. But at the same time, when I was working at the dealership, Santander only bought certain types of deals. They didn't buy everybody, but they did. The people that they bought, it was almost like a matter of desperation. Okay, and then of course you get the loan with Santander. That person ends up being late. You end up paying these monthly payments thinking that your principal is going down. You're driving your car like normal, hopefully, right? And now you're stuck with this large balance a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later. And don't get me wrong, people that have high interest rates, you're going to be upside down. But you shouldn't be 6-7 grand upside down, especially after paying on the car for after 2-3 years, okay? That's why you must refinance with them ASAP. Okay, you got to refinance with them ASAP. You cannot refinance with the same bank with Santander. For example, if you have a Santander auto loan, you cannot call them up and say, hey, I've made 12 payments on time, 18 payments on time. Can we restructure this loan? Nobody in their right mind is going to give you a better interest rate. Of course, if they already have you stuck at, in contract on a higher interest rate, it just doesn't make any sense. So you have to go elsewhere, like a credit union or Capital One or Wells Fargo, or State Farm even has a refinance program. If your score is a 680 or above, you can get 5%. But most refinance companies will let you refinance at a 620 or 640. Okay, so these are loans, again, you gotta refinance to ASAP, especially if you have an auto loan with Santander. Okay, so if you like this video, like it. If you know anyone that has a Santander loan, or that of course has had one in the past, or whatever the case may be, listen, you most definitely want to share this video with them. And as always, be sure to subscribe, because they have nothing but great content on the way. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.